Turned on. Okay, 1 2 1 2. Okay, let's get this show on the road. We are live. We've got an audience. That's fantastic. Okay, there's never a shortage of an audience on the internet. So this is the session, the creativity crisis, but more to the point, talking about a tech skills crisis. People are still coming in. Fantastic. We've got room at the back for a few little ones. I'd like you to imagine that you're at a primary school. I love primary schools. Anybody here from a primary school? Fantastic. Anybody not from a primary school? Should have been 2 hands. Fantastic. It's great. I love primary schools because the innocence. You know, you go into a primary school and the kids are thinking, goodness, this doesn't look like a SATs test or a worksheet or an assembly that the head teacher's cobbled together overnight in a bit of a hurry. This looks interesting. This isn't death by PowerPoint. Stand by. And you can feel the atmosphere. I'm usually standing in a side room at this point. We're connected. Fantastic. We are connected. Now, you know exactly what the children are saying now, don't you? Come on then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are go. Fantastic. It's a bit lazy, but I'm going to play the film that I made last night for Twitter because it saves an awful lot of my time and it's a bit more exciting.
Yes, the stage is set here in Liverpool Street, just down the road from the UK's Silicon Triangle, Tech Central here in Shoreditch. That's right, it's on an old North Sea rig made from cardboard, code and creativity for our workshops at the LGFL Let's Assemble conference. It was made by Samir Mamedov, who lived in Kharkiv until the Russians did this to his house. And this to his computer chair and screen. So he fled to Kiev and is safe now. But more about how you can help Sam in a minute. I'm Nick Corston and I'm just a dad, and I'm the co-founder of a non-profit called STEAMco that I started in my son's primary school in Paddington a few years ago now to inspire kids with creativity, to connect them with their art and to connect communities with schools. Funnily enough, I used to run one of the UK's first digital agencies just up the road in Shoreditch. I did the world's first beer digital ad for Heineken on a CD-ROM. They paid me with 6,000 bottles of Heineken Export. And I personally coded one of Microsoft's first ever UK websites, a webcast from the Edinburgh Festival, to help launch Windows 95 in 1995. I know I don't look old enough, but back to this century. When lockdown hit a few years ago, all our work working with schools was cancelled, and John Jackson of LGFL encouraged me to think different. And he helped me set up a green screen studio in a spare bedroom at home. Since then, we've run community art festivals on a cardboard pyramid stage, a Coventry cathedral with launchable tower, and a Mars base camp on Parklands Primary up there in Leeds with a rocket that took off. All created in code by artists like Sam. Last year, we raised the funds to put our green screen studio in the back of a Starship and hit the road, visiting schools and live streaming events for them. You might see a camper van, but we say imagination can take us anywhere. We now live stream our sessions out to homes as well as concerts at carols with a little bit of help from the kids. Why a cardboard oil rig? Well, it's our sea monster, and that's another story for another film. Just after that, the Technology Minister, Michelle Donnellan, spoke at an event at Bloomberg just down the road about how the UK was going to lead the world in artificial intelligence. But then in the same breath, said that there's a tech skills vacancies shortage that's costing UK GDP £150 billion. So we're declaring a tech skills crisis. I want to know what you're doing in your school, what you think, and what the barriers and the obstacles are. We need to make sure we're giving our kids the skills they need, not just to survive, but to thrive in this brave new world. Whether they want to build oil rigs out of cardboard or code, or build solar panels or windmill turbines like we've got here on our sea monster. We're doing everything we can to help. We're trying to get 22 of these little pop-up Creativity Day drop trucks on the road that contains kits that the community can use to teach their kids coding skills. We're going to have our green screen studio set up at the Let's Assemble conference. So do pop in for a workshop, see our tech in action, see how we're using the Adobe Creative Cloud tools from LGFL for our art activism, to champion creativity, to inspire creativity, and to ignite creativity. We're on a mission to launch a creativity revolution across the country, and our Sea Monster is going to be a beacon. Meanwhile, as we mark the first anniversary of this terrible war, I reach out to ask you to help Sam and his countryfolk in any way you can. You may want to make a small PayPal donation and I'll share the link. Initially, he's refused this charity, saying compared to others, he's okay, but has promised to pass on anything that's donated to his countryfolk who really do need it.
So there you have it. Quite a poignant moment, quite a poignant day today for me, working with Sam Mehmetier in Ukraine. As we remember those people, he built that from cardboard. Well, I built it from cardboard. He rebuilt it from code and a bit of imagination. Simple 3D structure developed there in Blender, a free product. I've done live streams in schools and kids have said, that's not real. That's been done in Blender. I can do that better than that in Blender. You've got kids in your school who use Blender on a daily basis. I'm sure these are world-class skills these kids are developing on their own, because I don't know how many of you are Blender teachers and trainers and experts. So that's what I'm talking about.
I think one of the things that would be important for the public, the UK public, and frankly, the American public, to know is how much good the prince then has done in terms of the Prince's Trust and other things. That message is not out there. Now,
That's Paul bringing science to life here at Norwich Science Festival. Listen to those children.
This is the best day of my life.